And with that, Nelyollotl, he's been involved for over 14 years. He's a muralist, a painter. He writes a lot of open letters to La Opinión. He gets published quite often. That's a big accomplishment, being that LA is a huge city. There's a lot of letters that La Opinión gets, and his letters tend to make it to the actual letters to the editor segment. So that's a big accomplishment. And he's going to share with us what our perspective is on identity and why is it that we denounce these colonial terms and what other terms that we are embracing. So, Nelyollotl Toltecatl.
Some of our people at home, we do have a book that's called La Biblia. I mean, and the reality is we know more about being Jewish people than who we are as a Nicantlaka people. We know how to recite verses, you know, we know how to do this, we know how to do that, but we don't know. We know about Adam and Eve, Moses, you know, all these figures of Jewish history, but we don't know who we are as a people, you know. And some of us even go to the extremes of going to Israel to visit the archaeological monuments there and be along, you know, I guess they do I guess like every year I hear on the radio they do some type of expeditions to Israel, La Tierra Santa, whatever. And you know, it's kind of you feel like a little jealous for me. It's like, man, how come we can't learn who we are? How come children like your child there? How come we don't know at an early age who we are as a people? In LA, there's an area there in West LA, and if you drive on I think it's La Brea and Wilshire, that district, there's an area where you see a lot of people walking through there, and you see these people wearing little yarmulkes and little black hats and the black suit, and they're walking around. They're always look really busy with books. You know, they're walking, going to a building, going to the next building, and you see little kids walking around. Well, that child, at an early age, they know who they are as a people. Pretty much we're in a bad condition. You know, why is it that we're the majority of people? For example, you talk about living in East LA. Not too long ago, there's a synagogue they're trying to renovate. The synagogue, because at one time in East LA there was a lot of Jewish, they used to live there. And now they're trying to renovate the synagogue. And instead of, I go, where's our version of a synagogue? Where's our version of the museums, of the culture centers? And now, I'm not talking about a little culture center donde, you know, it's very minimal and everything's already scarce, you know, no resources. I'm talking about a major culture center. I mean, there's the Jewish people over there in LA, I think they have something close to 30 Jewish culture centers. I mean, you're talking about world class. No, in California, we have something related to Plaza de la Raza in a beat-up park. We have Chicano Park and underneath a bridge, a freeway. I mean, does it ring a bell that we're in a bad condition? And so anyways, this is the stuff that we got to deal with on a daily basis with our people. Trying to teach them who they are as a people. Like myself, I'm always trying to find ways on how to talk to people related to this. I'm always trying to find ways that at least like in the writings that I do, because I mostly want to do it in Spanish because I know the majority of our people over there speak Spanish. And once you look at this, you're like uphill battle. You're fighting this, and it's difficult because that structure is not there. Our people are not. We don't have our shit together. You know, and sometimes we got to do it this way, bluntly, and say, you know what, we can't. You know, if it wasn't for a group of us that come together and talk about these issues, people would have been already given up, or I would have given up, because the enemy is within. The enemy is in front of a mirror. It's you. If you don't take that initiative to study or teach this to your kids, and almost like you almost got to do it almost in a forceful way. You're going to abandon that ignorance, abandon that self-hatred, because we are a very self-hating people. You talk about, you know, earlier we were talking about words that were implemented into our mind that we still carry, and we don't realize it, like hijo de la chingada, like the word Monday. I mean, you never hear an Argentinian saying Monday. You know, Monday is done to us because we're basically their slaves of the Spaniards, and that word was carried on, and we're still using it without even any conscience of why you know we say Monday. I know from experience, I know that children when they're born right now in the hospital, since our birth, we've already been discriminated by our own people. Ah, no nació, he wasn't born with blue eyes. You know, and I remember this one where está güerito, is he lighter? You know, está muy prieto, he's too dark. You know, and that, how do you think that plays into our way of thinking? Why is it that in Mexico City you have nothing but criollos in las telenovelas, and then you have some of our people, sí patroncito, you know, or oh naca, vete por la puerta de atrás, no, do not come in through the front. What is that telling our people? The majority of the people in Mexico City are not criollos. So all that is playing, they're playing us really good, see? We're being played, we don't realize it. We don't realize that we're participating in our own demise, we're participating in our own self-hatred. The whole idea is that this continent, our people is Anican Tlaca, not Hispanic, not Latino. You gotta drill that into your grandfather, you gotta drill that into your mom and dad, and anybody that talks about Latino, oh sí, Latino, ¿qué? Italianos? No, the Hispanics, oh, the Spaniards. No, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. You know, because we are Anican Tlaca, we're an indigenous people. Somos gente mexicana, somos gente centroamericana. Pretty much you gotta sit down and dialogue with some of our people, because you know what? We just might hear it here, but if you don't disperse this amongst our people, or even amongst good intentional other non-Anican Tlaca people, then it will never go anywhere. You know, and so that's what we're talking about here. We're bringing this information. We want our people to be aware, because the faster we're aware, the more this information is disseminated, the easier for us to eventually say one day, you know what? We're no longer in ignorance. We're no longer speaking this way. We're no longer doing the stupid habitual stuff that's been keeping us on our knees for a long time. So anyway, so that's what we're presenting, and thank you for coming, and hopefully we'll do this more often. But thank you.